Hi, welcome to the Fan Bam.
Yep, that tracks.
Yeah.
That tracks.
Welcome aboard the Kayla carousel
What were you
Of
singing?
emotion.
What were you just singing?
of emotion.
Throw it back. What were you just singing?
I was singing.
All right, stop. We're gonna get content ID. That's too accurate.
Because I'm ice cold. That's how cool I am.
Look, all I know is that if Ninja Rap isn't playing at my wedding, I'm not going. All right. It needs to play at least once.
I mean, you know what that means then, Brendan, right?
What?
Like, we have to do the dance routine.
Oh, absolutely. I'll be
how do you
Leo, you'll be Raph, and then we
dance?
gotta find.
Oh, I have no interest in doing this.
Well, then, I don't care if you do or not.
Rap. Ninja.
Do you want me to do it? Don't you have other boys who know this better than me?
I have
Can
no
I just
other male friends.
Can I do?
Oh, they just said, what about Casey? Like I said, I stand by my statement.
Like the Ron Swanson quote, where he's like, "I'm surrounded by a lot of women in this office," and that includes the men. Anyway,
I'll sing shoot, but in like a soliloquy format. So I'll be like, "Well, let me bring it back to the subject."
Oh my god! No, sing Wonderwall. Be like, so anyway. Just whip out the acoustic guitar.
I would totally in the middle of my speech just sit there and be like bust out a good time. Be like, so anyway.
Here's Wonderwall.
And just make dead eye contact with you.
The entire time.
Just the whole time. Straight face, no laughing.
I'm hiring security for that wedding just to have you carried out on multiple occasions. That's what I'm going to tell security. I'm going to tell security and be like, she's allowed back in if she gets in, but then you got to carry her back out again.
Right, yeah.
She can sneak in the whole
Like, you can't stop her from coming in, but when I tell you to throw her out, you have to. So,
and I sneak in like the laziest ways. I'm just like creeping behind like a 2-year-old
like Solid
child.
Snake. No, it's Solid Snake. You just have a box and you're just moving.
Just a box like on my head and I just walk through. Oh, this is gonna be an adventure.
Oh, it is. It is. Anyway, so today's episode we were talking about
what everyone else is talking about.
Well, yeah, for starters, the slap heard around the world, which was really funny because I was watching with my girlfriend. I was watching it live, and that happened, and I thought at first, like everyone else at first, when he was like walking up to Chris Rock, like, and everyone started laughing, I started chuckling because I was like, oh, he's gonna do some goofy shit. And then he just fucking smacked the guy. And then they also, like, I could tell it was live and it was real, like, not staged because of the way they cut it. Because they froze the screen and then you showed, they muted
cut
Will
all
Smith.
the audio.
Like, I was like, Marissa, I think this is real. I don't think this is staged at all. And then I was like, where's my phone? I gotta text everybody I know. And then,
I didn't even see it. I just saw like your text message come through, and I was like, "Wait, what? Like, was this real? Was this playful? Like, were they just playing around?"
Nah, man, it was real. And,
that's crazy.
I don't know who wants to go first with their opinion on it, but I'll go if anyone else wants.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think Will Smith, love him, grew up with him. You know, I think he's I'm super happy, super stoked that he finally won his Oscar. I think the guy is a total cuck and a bitch. Yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. Well, I'm just, look, man, like I lost respect for him that night. Like, I really did. Like, you can't, because here's the point of it. It's like, it cuts to him, and I, like everyone else, thought that they just cut it weird and that he wasn't laughing, or not laughing at that, but he was laughing at the joke, and then he saw Jada's reaction, and that's what triggered him. So, you know what I mean? If it was one thing, if he just like heard the joke and he was like, all right, I'm going to slap the shit out of this guy, but you're just upset because your wife is upset. Your wife who's out there fucking other dudes.
Yeah.
You know, and you're on this interview pretending like you don't care when it's clearly killing you inside. And she's, you know, shaming you. It just, I don't know, man. Like, and it didn't look good. And the thing is I felt like he made every wrong move you could make in that situation, because then he came out and apologized for it, which, is, I'll be honest, is the right thing to do, but also makes you look like an even bigger bitch. like it's a hard, I don't know, it's a hard scale, but I I don't like what's happened to him in terms of this whole being cuck situation and being that wasn't a good move. Like, and he should have been thrown out. Apparently, he refused to leave. I don't know the whole story behind that, but I mean, that's I don't know. Bad move by Fresh Prince.
That's fair.
That's my 2 cents.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of the. I mean, generally speaking, I am not a huge fan of like just going up and hitting somebody because they said something to you. I mean, like in certain respects, I get it, but this, I don't know, like it was kind of like suspicious, like, and weird because he was like shown to be like laughing at the joke, and then like Jada was not thrilled at all, and also I don't know. I mean, it definitely is obviously not a great look. But yeah, I mean, I just like I wish like at some point while he was walking up, he decided in like that like 2-minute walk, like somewhere in there, he was like, all right, like I'm a make this a joke or something. Like I don't know.
No, that's what I thought. Like when he was walking up there, I thought he was gonna
he just walked up like just like mad chill, and then but also like you're on stage in front of everybody. Like I don't know. I also don't like it because it sets a like I don't want people like I don't like that a lot of comedians are like, oh well, like now we can't like we have to be careful that we can't say something otherwise we're gonna get like assaulted on stage. Which like I don't know if that's like true. I think this was just one of those weird situations, but I don't know. I mean overall, like he did apologize for it. I wish it didn't happen, and I don't approve. But it was I mean it wasn't the best, and I wish that like I think Jada said something afterwards, not really directly towards it. Didn't she say something like I'm just here for healing, or like we all need to heal, like something very vague?
I didn't hear that part.
Oh, I thought I saw something on Twitter, or I might have been reading something where like it wasn't like an accurate. I didn't fact check it, so I don't know if that was accurate. And if you guys haven't heard it, then probably not. But I don't know. I just it wasn't my favorite encounter. But yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. It doesn't make him like look good, especially with how like Jada like treated him and like hurt him, and like I get being upset, but I don't know.
I missed this part. I was gonna say I get protecting your significant other, no matter what, but there's situations that you have to look at the intent, and you have to look like Chris Rock wasn't being malicious. He wasn't. So
right.
It seemed like he just took that as an excuse to tell everybody he wasn't a bitch, but just turns out to be a bigger bitch than what you thought he was. So,
right. That's fair. What do you think, Will?
I mean, since this moment has happened, people have been talking to me about it like nonstop, looking at it from every angle. Was it staged? Was it not?
Like, it definitely wasn't staged.
To kind of, I'm not here to get into that part of the controversy or the conspiracy or whatever it is. Here are some of the things that I just kind of know. It's that this was the Oscars that was the first time put on by, you had a black DJ, black producer putting on the show. You saw Questlove win immediately afterwards for,
that was,
it got his first Oscar. Saw Coda win. None of that stuff matters anymore. Just because this one incident has overshadowed all of it. Just seeing the emotion out of Will after everything had happened, it's like I said, there's definitely something there. I guess, people are, again, like, we don't know. Chris Rock has put out his statement saying, if he had known that she was going through, this was a medical condition, that he wouldn't have made the joke in the way that he did, or wouldn't have made the joke, that he wasn't trying to do that. He thought it was a fashion choice, and he's like, they've done movies together in the past.
And you
And
believe him?
I don't know, because who am I to say? I'm not
Right.
there. I'm not them.
Right.
Okay. People have sit there and said it's Hollywood. I've had people come up to me and was like, it's Hollywood. There's no way he didn't know. He saw low hanging fruit and went for it because he just knew that he would get a chuckle out of it. And, Chris Rock is an asshole and Will Smith checked him on it. And people have been saying that they're going to check Chris Rock for the things he said for years and years and years. And finally somebody did. So bravo on Will Smith for doing so. And other people have said that, this is just a reaction, to the stress and drama that Will Smith has had to deal with, and it boiled to the surface in one moment. And yeah, he took it out on Chris Rock right then and there, Yeah, there's so many different ways. I've had a lot of women say, "Hey, listen, that's what you're supposed to do as a husband." Like I've had women hit me up like, "What would you have done?" I'm like, "I'm not married, so I can't answer that question." I'm like, "I'm not falling for this trap." Like number one, like
I would have laughed it off. I'm telling you. I mean, I'm not married either, but I have a significant other, and somebody said that, I would have laughed it off.
If it was that, like, if I felt that type of like way, I could definitely see just, you guys know me, and like if one of my boys says that in a public statement, I probably there's two ways that I probably would have gone. I don't know if I would have slapped him in public, but everything that's going on.
Right.
But I definitely could see myself getting backstage and saying like, waiting to get backstage to do something about it, or I probably would have walked up and been like, hey, I'm gonna beat your ass later. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's the thing too. I was thinking about is like how, like, let's say you were at like the after party and it was clear that you guys had been drinking, and he said that, like, okay, maybe I could see, some situation, but
well, he'd been drinking then. Like he definitely was like
who, both of them? You think?
No, Will Smith. You could tell with Will Smith. Like if you look at his face, his eyes were like before then were kind of like glossy.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
So he was definitely had been drinking.
Well, they do start drinking. A lot of people do start drinking like before.
It's the Oscars. Like you say, hey, let me get a on them. They're gonna be like,
they'll run and grab you. That's
yeah.
Yes, sir, Mr.
That's the only thing that like, but that's like a thing where it's like that social like facilitation where it's just like that's where like I feel bad, because when you're on stage in front of people and like imagine if something caught on, like I'm sure Will was probably like, what if they caught on camera like me laughing and then my wife looking at me upset and then I don't do anything, like that would be a fear, because like now.
But I mean,
I don't know.
I'm not gonna make him
I'm just like
I just don't get that going through his head. Like, oh, this is gonna make me look like an even bigger cuck now, and I'd be like, no, bro, it's still the thing. It's still her sleeping with other dudes that makes you look bad. Like that wouldn't make like. I just feel like there's weird. That's the thing. I feel like he's picking weird battles to fight with her.
Like, the one thing I did notice, like just off base to it, is like after he got slapped, like Chris, like he had this reaction. Not the whole thing, like, oh, that just happened. Oh, okay,
Right.
but he had like this other, like, more visceral reaction because he stared at him like,
oh yeah, like
I should do something or I should come harder, and you could tell that if you look at it, he talked himself out of it within.
Yeah, no, I think he said under his breath. I think he was like, I could, or something. I think he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean, he's
from back.
And which is even like more interesting because, like, again, like this has been bombarded on me forever and ever and ever. But he talked about, his trauma about. We talk about everybody hates Chris, but he actually had like trauma PTSD of getting jumped all the time growing up in Brooklyn. And he talked about like the last time that he got mugged, he was on, Saturday Night Live. He was working Saturday Night Live and he was walking home and two guys jumped him and robbed him.
Right.
And like he had to go through therapy and everything else to try to like even want to be in public and all this other stuff. Like, so he'd like, physical attacks on him would like be damning to him. So like you could tell, like, again, like I'm sure Jada's going through things, but it's just like it's a lot to kind of go up and down the whole spectrum to it all. And again, like I said, everybody keeps asking me, oh yeah, he all these things. I'm like, we don't know.
Mhm.
Okay, if Chris Rock is just thinking, because again, they're friends.
Right.
They've been friends, so maybe he should have known. But if I didn't know,
I let you know me. I give people the benefit of the doubt. I want to say I believe he didn't know.
right,
Yeah.
like if I made a joke of one of your significant others and they were dealing with something medical, I'm sure that one of you guys might be upset about it as well. But if I honestly had no idea about it, like,
Right.
you know,
It was an overreaction. And I think the way that was summed up perfectly was Chris Rock's response with "Wow, dude!" Like that is the universal sign
It was a
for.
very healthy response.
Well,
I'm not
that's a
gonna lie. Like, I
universal.
was like, wow, good for you.
That's a universal response for like, yo, like you're overreacted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Mhm.
Like it was just that part made me laugh too after I heard that. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and another question on it: Do you think he would have done it if it was The Rock who made that joke?
Oh, I definitely feel like it was a measured response. Like he definitely looked at that situation, was just like,
I could
all
handle
right,
this.
yeah, I can handle this wherever like he might do. If he tries to fight me back, I'm very sure I can handle this in this moment. Like
West Philadelphia versus Brooklyn.
listen, that was the first thing I got was like all the Philly dudes in my timeline. Like that's how we
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brooklyn looking soft out here. Like,
that is the
Yeah.
last thing that African American culture needs is if they got into it on stage at the fucking Oscars.
and to me, that's the bigger thing about everything else. Was just like, again, like I know there's like sub-level, subcontext to it all and everything else, but it's just like, yo, nothing else about that night now matters.
Right.
It's just the fact that one black
Yeah.
Right.
other
No,
black
that's true.
on national television and nothing else that ever positive happened.
You had
Like,
a deaf guy
promoting
win. You had Questlove, which I meant to ask. Don't you know Questlove or you met Questlove? I remember you telling the
yeah,
story about.
I've hung out with him a couple
Right.
times.
Yeah. He seems like a cool dude.
He's quiet. He's very reserved, but yeah, he was like, he at least the times I'm around him. So
Right. So, but yeah, no,
But-
I agree. But you could say one positive thing, and I think we already touched on this, but hey, I think Chris handled it beautifully. Like,
I don't know, because like I said, like some people are praising Chris Rock, which I love.
I totally
It's like
get it.
I love to get everybody's like reactions to it. So you go to one spectrum and people were like, yeah, no, somebody is making fun of your wife's medical condition. Yeah, absolutely. If they were in a bar, he would have got punched. Like that's what one side of the aisle was saying. And, I go to the other side of the aisle and they were like, yeah, Chris Rock should press charges. He should be in jail.
I don't think all of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
I
that.
think
but then you go even further to the extremes where people were just like, oh yeah, well, this is what happens when you let, black folk get around each other and like,
There's that old saying, and I'm not gonna say it, but I think you know what I. And
it's just like, it's not the case between them. Like that is not their characters.
Right.
And they've done so much. There's so much more to the both of them than it is in that moment. But now it's just like, hey, you have to kind of deal with this.
And I think
at the same time, I feel like I'm tired of hearing about it.
Right.
I'm so tired.
I do think a big part of it too that made it bigger was that he won the fucking Oscar. And then he had to give that speech afterwards, and and he kind of both defended what he did and also said he overreacted, but I think if he, I don't know, like I said, my 2 cents, I already gave it. It's a bad move, and good on Chris Rock to handle it like a gentleman, and just weird, man. It's a weird times we live in, but. We'll move on.
I wish this happened at a bar.
You wish that happened at a bar?
Yeah, if it was at a bar, it wouldn't have been such a big deal. No one would have cared.
Yeah, if it just happened in a club somewhere.
No one
Right.
would have
It'd
like
been like a
the after party. Like
corner of like,
Well,
page 6 or something like that. Apparently,
yeah.
Will Smith hit Chris Rock.
but well, speaking
And
of
the
the
two of
after
them
party,
talked it out.
well, apparently it was Diddy who he said it like apparently he said as a joke. He's like, "We're gonna work that shit out after
No,
this."
he meant that.
And then
He meant that.
no, but like, and people laughed, but he actually did. Like at the after party, he was the one who got them together. So good on him for that too. But
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
unless Kayla, you have something else to say, we can move on to our second topic.
Now we can move along.
All right, why don't you introduce our second topic then?
All right, our next topic is something I'm currently very familiar with. Burnout and self-care. What do you do when you're burnt out? Are you burnt out from work? Burnt out from life?
Burnt
Let's
out
talk
from
about
Kayla,
it. Burnt out from Kayla.
Yeah, we've all been there.
What are your self-care coping mechanisms? How do you get through the day? How do you chug
I
along?
mute your text. That's the first thing I do.
Right, yes. Mute Kayla's text.
Mute Kayla's text.
If persisting, you look down and it's just like more memes and weird squiggly dancing images.
See, the problem with Kayla is, folks, now I read somewhere, it was like an Instagram post that said if you have more than 3 group chats with your friends, then you're real friends. I think a Fan Bam has about 20 different group chats. But 20 different forms of group chat.
You do manage to hear me on a lot of platforms.
That's the thing. Like, I could mute her on anything, and then like she would talk to me on World of Warcraft. I muted her on. She'd come flying in on a bird. She'd be like, "Why are you ignoring me?"
You really want to ignore me. You're gonna get like a fucking postcard from me. It's like, hey, I saw this meme, so I printed
just
it up.
Just a Polaroid of you like wagging your finger, like you better call me.
Oh my god.
Well, what's kind of funny is with self-care, we touched on it, but we didn't really have like a full-on workout episode. I remember we were talking at I think we were playing Castle Crashers when we talked about it.
Yeah. I mean, we like talked briefly about like working out, but that's definitely a self-care that I like.
No, that's my biggest
form of
self-care. I might have said this already. I might have said this during that, but I think my favorite thing about workouts is, as in the physical benefits, it's the mental benefits. And that, like, you could have like the shittiest day, but if you have like a good workout that gives you such a high for the rest of the day, and then you're good. And like, the best thing after coming home from the gym and you're playing video games is like you don't feel at all guilty. Because you're like, I did my workout today.
It's something positive you did.
Yeah, and I'm like, I can do whatever the fuck I want for the rest of the goddamn day. Because
that's true.
I lived it. Recently, I've been trying to get a little bit toned for the summer, and I started doing over the winter. I try to go for max weight, now I'm just trying to do max reps, and now I'm trying to do I started at 12. Now I'm trying to do 20 of each. But
20 reps.
I'm starting 20 reps.
Wow.
3 sets to 20 reps, but I do a light weight. I don't do
right.
And,
well, that's toning. Yeah.
Right, and then sometimes I feel I feel bad because I'm benching 25 on each side, and you know what I mean? And I don't know. I feel like people are staring at me, but that's why I do the open palm thing to show that I'm not struggling. It's I got this. Right.
Yeah, you're just kind of bouncing it.
I got this. It's easy. You don't see me struggling.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I don't really do a lot of toning. I think I used to, but now as I've told you guys, but I've been really trying to do these certain calisthenics workouts. So I've been doing a lot of progressive overload because I need to be able to balance my body weight on either one leg or I'm trying to do these single leg squats without support in weird forms, which is pretty tough. And then also just I don't know, I want to be able to do these weird push-ups without my feet touching the ground, and it's I'm getting there. I did that crow move and I was very proud of that, but I gotta keep doing the progressive overloads, otherwise because I gotta be able to lift my whole ass up.
So go over that again. What is progressive overload?
It's when you do 12, like, so I do like 12 reps of like of a weight, and then my next weight is like one above, and I aim for like 8. I try to get 8 of those. And ideally it's heavy enough if the 8 is like almost impossible to finish. Like
Right.
if I were to
Do it
try
to
and go for
failure.
9
Yeah.
or 10. Yeah. So I'll do that, or sometimes I'll do like 12, 10, and then 5 of an even higher weight if I'm really feeling like juiced up. Um,
Like you were
but
today.
yeah, like today I went crazy. But I was like happy because there's like certain like exercises that I've kind of felt capped at. Like I haven't been able to, like, especially for like biceps and triceps, I haven't been able to like go over a certain amount. But like I was on 60 on triceps. I think I was on the push downs, which like I haven't been able to really get past. I think it's 42 is what it goes to, 42 or 50. I've been kind of plateaued for a bit, but like I don't know, I've just been like forcing myself to like throw in 1 more or 2 more reps of a weight that's like barely impossible for me to do. Like I have to like fucking grit my teeth for that last one. But it's been nice. Like I feel like really, like I came home and I was exhausted, and I mean, it helps me feel better, and it gives me like a distraction. Like I look forward to it whenever like I'm cranky. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go work out, and
Right.
that's just what I've been doing,
Yeah, when you're
And then I
fussy,
got like
it's
yeah. So, what about you, Will? How's that workout game going?
Well, I am definitely pushing myself in my advanced age. Unfortunately, my recovery time is very, very important. So,
Mm-hmm.
I have
your
to.
advanced age of late 20s.
That's why I love you. But yeah. So it's like that's the biggest thing with me. It's like because I I really push myself to go like ham in the gym,
You do.
and every so often, and now I start thinking I'm 21 again, and I'm like, I don't need to warm up, I don't need to stretch. Just go here and lift something heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's show these young kids in the gym how
How we do it.
Show these young whippersnappers.
real heavy ass weights look like. God damn. And then it's like the next 2 months, it's like I can't lift my shoulder past here.
Carry me, please.
Yeah, but no, like I said, like even like when like I first started, I don't say I got Brendan hooked, but I remember like the first early days of training you was just kind of like sucky, and you were like, oh yeah, it's just I don't want to do it. I don't want to. You were determined to get through it because of the what had motivated you to start working out of the conversation. But literally, once you started seeing results, and once people started complimenting you, Brendan was just like, I need to do this.
Yeah, it's true. Once you start to see results, then it's all downhill after that. Yeah.
It's just like, okay.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, well, this is
like,
not going to go away.
You're like, oh, this is working. Like, I'll go right now. Like,
got people complimenting my shoulders. I'm like, I'm like, done.
That's literally like people have been like said that, and it's like, all right, I'm going tonight now. Like,
they're like, oh, thank you. I gotta leave right now and go work out more. One thing I do also do that I always am a huge fan of is obviously meditation. I think we talked about that on the mental health episode, but
no,
that's a big self-care thing.
That's honestly, that's one of the great things about YouTube. It's
you get all
ways to meditate and do stuff like that. It's hard. That's one of the hardest things for me to do, but like I've tried to do that just to sit there, and like my mind will go fucking crazy. Like I've gotten massages in the past, and I've just like sat there like I don't know. I
can't even enjoy it.
Well, no, like I do, but like I have just a hard time quieting my mind, like I always do. I always do.
Yeah, that is tricky.
Yeah, no, it's really hard for me. I don't know.
I mean, I definitely like. I was absolutely like very much there, and like if I don't meditate for a while, like it definitely comes back. But I don't know. Like I started off just doing like 1 minute breathing exercises, or like 3 minutes of like just like guided meditation, and like I make sure I do the guided ones because I can't, like, I need to focus on somebody talking to me because I can't, like, but now I'm at a point where like at any given time in the day, I can kind of like, I get quiet just by like either like mostly by just listening to like my heartbeat. Like I literally just focus in on my heartbeat, and it's a little bit of a mixture of Tai Chi. That I actually got Will from your brother when we talked about Tai Chi when we went out, and he was like saying how you feel the heartbeat, like the goal is to feel your heartbeat like all the way through your body, and like see if you can feel it like into your fingers and like into your legs and stuff like that, which has actually been like a super grounding exercise for me and like has definitely helped. Yeah, so that's something that like I really like. I don't know, I always tell people just do like minute-long breathing exercises and start there and see if you can add 2 minutes to it or 3, or but I understand it's like hard because when you're doing it, you're just like, my mind won't shut up, this is pointless, this is stupid. But like it's just like with lifting weights, if you keep doing it, you're eventually going to be able to.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I mean,
that's how I think about it.
I just always, what's funny is I listened to one meditation once where I think it was like a 15-minute one, and then like every 5 minutes or so, they were like, all right, now wherever you are, come on back. And each time, I'm like, fuck, they caught me. I'm away from where I'm supposed to be. Like each time, it's like it fucking knew, and I hated that.
Yeah.
Like, but also I was like,
I think
you're
15 minutes is too long. I tell,
Yeah.
like I said, I tell people like under 5.
People meditate for like hours at a time.
It's hard. I was actually at one point doing 20-minute meditations when I was like much more religious about it. And I'm not gonna lie, like when I was doing it, it felt great. Like I would come out of that and I'd be like, damn, I did not want to leave that headspace because I just like tapped out. But it's hard to do. It's hard to like sit there and say, oh, I'm just gonna sit and do nothing for like 10 or 15
I think
minutes.
I think that's it. Just I guess just do nothing, but you're supposed to like, I guess.
Well, like you're physically doing nothing, you know what I mean?
Right,
Especially when you have so much that you're thinking about doing, like all this other stuff that you want to do or have to do or whatever. Like it's hard. Like it's hard for me to sit there and justify it because I feel like if I'm not being productive, like I don't seem to whatever reason justify that as being productive. It is, but like it's hard because you're like, I'm physically just.
I mean, like there's ways. I guess it's like I think what you said. Like I know I have not known for doing it, and I probably should do more of it. But like if you take like 5 to 10 minutes of just deep breathing and focusing on like, hey, we're going to study this, we're going to study this, and we're zoning in and blocking all the other things out that distract us from studying, about, hey, worrying about that parking ticket I got, or worrying about this happened at work, and we're just going to focus on just this one thing for the hour, and then you come out of that and you kind of feel cleared of it. Some people that kind of work. It works for me sometimes on certain things.
Yeah.
It is not like my go-to coping mechanism. I normally have more unhealthier coping mechanism. Listen, it is the mechanism that brought us all together at one point. Get GameStop and be like, well, that sucked. Let's go cope.
I get some coping mechanisms in my friend Jack Daniels.
Yes.
He really helps.
Oh my God.
I'm here to meet my friends, Jose, Jack, Jim.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sitting here preaching like I work out, meditate. Your girl still, if it's a really bad day, your girl will still enjoy a bottle.
A good drink after a rough day really does help.
We're works in progress. We're getting there. We're getting there. One day it won't be so quick, but
I'm not sure if I've talked about this on the cast before, but you were just saying like, I gotta focus. The problem with me is like I'm so like to make me like focus straight on something, it's almost like impossible. It's like Dwight says, like you can't handle my undivided attention. so like if I have to do something specific, like when I have to write notes for work, if I have to do things, the best thing I do is like I throw on like a lo-fi or something in the background. So like that way, that's something else for my brain to focus on secondary as I focus on this. Like Like no, it's true. Like I'll be the first to tell you I have it. Like
Yeah.
I'm a high
Yeah, same here. Same
No.
here. It's like
Yeah.
having something else. Like
If you want me to sit in silence and do notes, it'll take me forever. If you like play some music in the background, I'll be like done. You know, like and then what's funny is my parents always used to get on me when I was doing homework because I would be like listening to this is gonna date me. I'd be listening, you know, to my Walkman or my CD player. And they would like take it away, like not till you're done with your work, and then I couldn't do my work because I didn't have that secondary distraction to get it done. Like
that's fair.
Yeah.
I want to, like, a lot of people don't know about this, but meditation, you don't just have to breathe. Like, there's a meditation that
you do have to breathe.
was doing. Well,
I mean, yeah, you have to breathe.
No. Come on, we're all gonna meditate together. We're not gonna breathe. This is how we're going.
The last person conscious.
This is how I choose to cope with my burnout. No, you don't have to focus on the breathing. You can actually do a meditation where you're like focusing on like noises around you. So if you go into a room that kind of, it's like external. I think it's external mindfulness. It has a phrase, but it's where you or it's actually, I think it's called active meditation, where you listen to, you like can focus on what your body, like all the senses, you focus on what your body's feeling. You focus on what you hear, and you can tune into any of those things. And the whole purpose of that is the goal is to basically just keep your internal monologue from like happening. The purpose is, which is why you focus on like random things. You'll be like, oh, like listen to these cars drive by, or like I feel the floor on my legs, and like if you can't focus on that for any longer, you switch to a different sense. Like, oh, what do I smell right now? What am I smelling? You can even do what do I see? You can look around and just.
I don't want to play what do I smell.
I don't want to play what.
I don't know. That one I think is a lot easier to do, because when you're tuning into your senses, like I don't know, you could pretend you're like fucking Daredevil or something, you know. And that one I think is fun. I like to do that one every now and then. That one's a lot of fun to do because you just become super aware of shit that you wouldn't like normally pay attention to, and it makes you kind of like, it's kind of cool. You're just like, wow, like I would never have noticed.
Cool.
Like, I don't know.
Cool. Like, I was adorable.
It's kind of cool. But yeah,
Marissa used to swear by yoga, and I've actually always wanted to, try that out a little bit.
You're doing sun salutations in yoga. Those are like the easiest ones you could do.
Yeah. Is that when you fire the giant beam of energy at somebody? When you salute the sun?
It's like a breathing. Actually, I think
Smash Brothers reference.
In Grand Theft Auto 5, Michael does.
I thought so.
All these positions in the pool, like at the pool. Whenever you like after that yoga instructor thing, when he like teaches you how to meditate, if you like the positions he does is sun salutations.
I mean, also, video games can be a coping mechanism.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, Grand Theft Auto, there's nothing like, hey, my boss just pissed me out.
Oh yeah, some mindless violence.
Some NPCs in Grand Theft Auto are gonna have a really bad day. Just now.
That's what I used to do on Batman. I used to go into
just beat people up.
I would just fucking run a train.
I don't think that's what that means.
I don't think that would happen in Batman.
That's what I did. I would get upset and I would run a train on all the criminals.
I don't think that's what that means, Kayla.
Kayla, I'm begging you, pull up.
I don't think Batman does that.
I don't know what to tell you, but there's a lot of unhappy people in Gotham City.
What copy of Arkham City did you get? I don't.
Right. Yes.
I don't know. This guy sold it to me.
Guys, a lot of fisting. Just. It's just.
God help us all.
Oh God.
My God.
Yeah, video games are a great coping mechanism, but that's why. The new big game out these days is called Elden Ring, and it's by the people who made Dark Souls, and it's just one of those games where I play video games. I play video games to unwind
game for me.
and relax. You know what I mean? Like it's a leisurely activity.
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking fight a boss where it takes me 7 minutes to kill him, and then if he gets me in one hit, I die. And then I'm like, oh, this sucks. And then you have people being like, oh, get good. And I'm like, get the fuck out of my house.
Get happiness. I don't why am I gonna invite this negativity into my life right now?
Yeah, instead of getting good, I'll just go get my Nintendo and fucking play Animal Crossing. I'll catch
Oh
some
my
fish
God.
and go sit on that stump over there. All right.
Yeah.
Don't bother
So
me.
true. So true. Oh man. Ain't that true?
Ain't that the truth? Well, we're at 40 minutes.
Alrighty,
You
cool.
wanna call that
So,
a day, or is there anything other? Well, what other? You
all right,
covered. You covered
listen,
working
there's
out.
other. I mean, yes, well, working out,
Music.
music,
Music is good. Yeah.
sex.
Sure.
You know.
I'm not allowed to do that. I'm detoxing.
Okay,
You're
cool.
detoxing from sexual relations.
I am detoxing from sexual
See,
relations.
I mean,
Right.
no, that makes sense.
But now,
Temporarily.
That
okay,
makes sense
listen.
because I did that from like 16 to 22. Okay.
I haven't done that for a little while, and I think I need a break.
I mean, let me think. When's the last time I saw Heather? That was.
Oh.
I'm gonna kill you, Will. I'm coming over there. I'm gonna hit you.
Yeah, fine.
Listen,
you know,
are we gonna
just
full circle? Am I gonna sit there and say,
Just-
keep
just-
my
just-
sister's name out your
Fucking mouth.
Oh man, yeah. That's the only thing.
Wow, dude.
Never mind. Just
Chill! Alright, that's it. We gonna have a problem now.
goodbye, everybody.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's been real. The Fam Bams disbanded.
We had a good run.
We had a good run. Everybody dead.
Everybody dies.
Join me next week for my start of my solo series.
Yeah, right.
Murder and
Kayla is in jail and Will is dead. So.
What do I do now with my
Yeah.
time?
Welcome to my crappy Let's Play where I just.
My crappy Let's Play.
That is exactly what I would make.
Oh, my
Oh
God.
man.
Do we have
Uh,
other self-care stuff other than
I
mean-
I don't own a bathtub, so I can't
I don't
do that.
do that. I don't like to sit in bathtubs.
You don't like
I
baths
guess
with
Listen,
salts?
I did a bath the other night, and listen, it was actually pretty good.
All right.
I can be in there for a little bit, but like after 20 minutes,
Music, get some nice. Don't do candles. I mean, they normally say get candles, but
candles.
I mean, you have a scented candle away from the tub because splashing and stuff.
No, I need to look at the. I need to look at the fire.
No, yeah, okay, you can look at the
All
fire.
right,
but
that's-
wait,
No, it needs to be like right near my toes.
never mind. I'm out.
I need
All
to
right,
be
everybody.
staring directly into the fire. It's not right there.
When I do, it's rare I do
Remove the
that.
tub. Add more
Just-
fire.
Here's the thought. Get rid of the water
Yeah.
component.
The tub is gone.
Wait.
It's just fire.
Tub is gone.
It's now a bath fire.
Okay.
Well, when I do it, I would do I'd have a drink, and then I'd have
Sure.
my candle, and then I'd have some music.
Right. Yeah.
But
read
only
I-
like 20 minutes, because
Did you
then I
read a
start
book?
sweating.
That's all you need.
No, I don't really read a book.
See, I never got
What
those
do I
people.
I stare at the candle.
I don't know. There's people that like bring your laptop in and have like that little thing, and I'm like, I'd be way too fucking nervous to do
Oh,
that
they
shit.
watch a show.
Yeah, that would fall.
I'd
That would fall.
I'd be way too
That'll
nervous.
fall right
I
in that
couldn't-
their bathtub.
Yeah, I
of
wouldn't be
fire.
able to relax. I just wouldn't be like, one wrong move and that fucking
Yeah.
$700 laptop is donezo.
That's fair. My mother loves baths. She spends like an hour in there, and I've literally walked in. That woman is asleep. I'm like,
In the
what?
tub?
Like, I swear to God, repeated occasions she's asleep in the tub. Like, she could not. I have never met a more relaxed woman in my life. Like, she is just unfazed by anything ever. The house could be on fire. She could be like,
Well,
jeez.
I could.
She'd be like,
Just-
I'm going to.
I just turns up her music like.
No, she just sits there. She'd be like, I'm gonna sit here and read my book. She'd be like, fire. She has the 5 minutes. Is this a safe distance? Yeah. All right.
All right.
I'm
We're
just-
good. We good. Yeah. You don't have to worry
But-
about her though, because I can tell you from personal experience that if you pass out in a tub, you'll wake up.
What do you mean? You pass out in tubs?
Oh, I guess if your head goes in the water, you
Hey.
will wake up.
Yeah, you will wake
No,
up.
she's like, she gets it. She has a whole fucking setup in her bathroom where
Like
it's
scrubs.
like
where you-
It's like a fucking.
Ties the
Oh, he
brother's
takes,
head.
tapes the head up. Yeah, the brother.
Yeah, tapes his
Yeah.
head up. It's just,
No, she is like.
I
It's
like
like,
it.
I think she's like a footrest or something that keeps her from sliding down, and like she has like a head thing. I don't know. She's got a whole
head
bougie ass
thing?
setup.
That's not where I thought Brendan was going to. But he said, speak from personal experience. He's like, speaking of personal experience, you know, if need be, I can lift your mother because I have in the past.
I
Oh,
was like, what the fuck are you saying? I was like, why
No.
why is
Yo.
everybody living in my family? Damn.
I could lift anybody at any time for any reason. I tell you that from
Ever.
personal experience because Kayla will attest. A dude I had to lift up at somebody's Halloween party was a big fucking boy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Actually, I did have help with that. I'm trying to remember who did, but it wasn't, you know, the owner of the house. It was a different dude.
No, that kid.
But that dude was
had
a big
rough
dude,
night.
and I actually was able to help him up off the ground.
He had a rough night. That
Yeah.
poor. I felt. Oh, that was not. that was
So-
not it. Oh boy. Well,
On that note,
All right.
I think
Yeah.
we
This has been
covered
fun.
all the self-care things. Let's go do some stretches.
Yep.
sounds
Yep.
good.
Let's go stress. Heather,
I'm gonna kill you. All right. Well,
like and subscribe.
like and subscribe.
like and subscribe.
What are your self-care practices? Should we do them? Are they fun? If they're fun, I'll do them.
If they're not... Should we do them? Are they fun? If they're fun, we'll do them. Get you all next time.
Till next time.